Very good morning, and once again welcome to Davos. Today it's all about the sprint, and it's sprinting in freestyle. Very important, this race here, because it's at the same altitude as Sochi, and it's the first freestyle sprint of the season.
A very fast qualification for you here in Davos. You like the course? It's a good feeling today?
Yeah, I feel good. It was really fast. I feel I have good skis and shape is good, so I hope the race will go well.
Well, good luck later today.
Yeah, thank you.
Ensi Penssinen, very fast qualification. Is this a course that suits you well?
Usually this high altitude has been quite hard for me, but this year, of course, because Sochi is high altitude, we have trained this quite much, and now seems the training has do some positive effect.
Well, great job in qualification, and good luck in the rounds.
Thank you.
Well, coming up, we're coming to the quarterfinal stages of both the men and the women. It'll be the women to go first. And in the women's competition, a really solid performance. The fastest qualifier, Denise Herman, in 2:59.24. Well, here in Davos, conditions really good for the first sprint of the season. It's the women to go first, and in the first of the quarterfinals, the first of 5 quarterfinals, we include not only the fastest qualifier, that's Denise Herman, but also Keegan Randall. Keegan Randall, who has won the last 3 freestyle sprint technique competitions, and in the last season it was Keegan Randall who won the title, but on the way won 4 of the 5 freestyle sprint competitions. So that gives you a really good idea of what might happen in this first of the quarterfinals. Now, the quarterfinals, they contain 6 athletes, so it's the first 2 across the line who will go through automatically to the next stage, to the semi-finals. So just getting ready for that at the moment, and then we should have everything ready to go. Marit Bjørgen goes in the second of the quarterfinals. She's got Katja Wisner to deal with in there. Jess Diggins of the United States in the third quarterfinal with Celine Brun-Lee of Norway. And then in the fourth one, Maiken Kaspersen Faller. That's an interesting one. And Astrid Jacobsen in the last of the quarterfinals. But 30 qualified from earlier today, so perhaps just a moment to tell you about 1 or 2 who didn't make it. Justyna Kowalczyk made it, but only in 30th place. As you see, the current temperatures are chilly but bright morning here for the sprints. Charlotte Kalla missed out. She was 31st in qualification. Natalia Matvieva. And this is the course here that the women will be racing over. A 1,500-meter course. And here you can see that a big climb going out of the stadium and then dropping down. But this has got some tricky turns in it, this course, and interesting to see how these women negotiate it. This wouldn't necessarily be a course or a discipline for Justyna Kowalczyk, and by qualifying in 30th place you already know that the writing's on the wall. Now, as you look at the women who qualified, and there you can see them in their qualifying order according to the times they achieved. Let me tell you about 1 or 2 others who didn't make it through. Mona-Lisa Malvaleito of Finland didn't make it. Krista Lehtomäki. Ida Ingsmar-Dotter of Sweden, a disappointment not to see her through. And Charger Crawford, the 2006 Olympic champion, struggling to find some form, the Canadian former Olympic champion. So just a few of those who didn't make it. Now over to the men's side of the table, and there you can see the men who qualified. once again, let me give you one or two who didn't. Andy Musgrave of Great Britain, 34th from the Huntley Nordic Ski Club. Good morning to all of you up there. He was 6.41 seconds off the 30th man, Vilnusiainen, for 5.97. So he'll be really disappointed with that. So the women are getting ready for this first competition, the first freestyle sprint of the season. So this should be pretty intense here. Really looking forward to seeing just how they manage this. Best sprinter of last season, Keegan Randall. Runner-up was Justina Kowalczyk, Ingvild Flugstedt-Ursberg, the third place. But this is the lineup for the first of the first qualifier of the 5. So Herrmann for Germany wears 1. Keegan Randall, bib number 10. Korosteleva of Russia, 11. Lauren van der Graaf of Switzerland, 20. Greta Long of Italy, 21. And Justina Kowalczyk in this, wearing bib number 30. So big names in this first quarter-final. Just waiting for them to be called forward to go under starters' orders. It's a tough call here for Kowalczyk, being in here with Keegan Randall and Denise Herrmann, who's got a really good tactical brain. Under starters' orders, first of 5 quarterfinals, and away we go. So already beginning to feel the effects of the climb. Germany's Denise Herrmann on the right there, wearing bib number 1, going up there to try and get an early position as they go into the shade. Justina Kowalczyk, who won the classic sprint in Kuusamo right at the beginning of the season, and at the back there, wearing the sprint bib leader, but it is the German Herrmann who is actually in the lead, swings round the right-hander. Good width of trail here, something like 8 meters, so really no excuses. 20, chasing up there, Lauren van der Graaf for Switzerland. In third place, in second place at the moment, Keegan Randall for the United States, and Justina Kowalczyk continues to be at the back of the field. Into that aerodynamic glide, and you can see that the first 2 already beginning to get away. Coming around the twists and turns of this course. Very much in the heart of Davos here. And still leading the way, Denise Herrmann, who has so improved her performances. So setting out Keegan Randall, try to catch up there Lauren van der Graaf and also Korosteleva. But 10 is Keegan Randall, 20 is the Swiss racer. At the moment it's Denise Herrmann pushing all of the buttons. Denise at the moment already making the best of her way home here. And now the critical stage of this race, the 24-year-old German from Buchau leading the way and moving up again around this demanding course. This is a really good test in the light of Sochi, which is also pretty demanding. And there, the sprint on there, Keegan Randall closing up, and the first 2 again beginning to get away. Herrmann, who was 3rd in the classic sprint in Kuusamo behind Kowalczyk, but the ski's running really well, and you could see there Keegan getting a lot of protection just tucking in behind now as they swing towards the straight. Justina Kowalczyk moving up. Remember, the first two across the line are the ones who automatically get places. Then it's down to the lucky losers, and Keegan Randall showing her sprint expertise to win the first quarter-final and take herself into the semi-finals. Keegan Randall and Denise Herman, the first two across the line. So just looking at the result there, just waiting for the timing. 2:57.92 for Keegan Randall. And third place in there, Lauren van der Graaf, 0.92. So she's in there for the lucky loser. Then Korosteleva, then Kowalczyk, and then Greta Long.
Noch zwei aus Deutschland mit Norwegen, Slowenien, Polen und Schweden. In diesem Feld Marit Björgen im gelben Trikot, die Weltcup-Führerin Katja Wiesner, Slowenien mit 7, Hanna Kohl, Deutschland 14, Sandra Ringler, Deutschland mit 17, Anni Esgraf, Germanica aus Polen mit 25 und Hanna Eriksson, Schweden mit 27.
So the lineup, as you can see there, for quarter-final number 2, and Marit Björgen ahead of Katja Wisner. There is Marit Björgen, really delighted with yesterday's win in the 15-kilometer race, overhauling her teammate Therese Noarduk, showing her real strength and leading the overall World Cup rankings, in fact enhancing her position at this early stage of the season. 17 in picture there, Sandra Ringwald for Germany. Wisner for Slovenia wears 7. There she is, 2 from the left of your picture, next to Marit Björgen. Hanna Kohl from Germany with her teammate Sandra Ringwald. Away they go. Szymanczyk of Poland wears bib number 24, and Hanna Eriksson for Sweden wears bib number 27. And it's the Slovenian trying to make the best way, but Sweden, Hanna... yeah, indeed it is. Hanna Eriksson getting to the front and looking to get that pole position as she goes into the first turn. Hanna Eriksson leading them round here. You would definitely say that she would have been one of the outsiders on all-known form to date. There she is on the left of the picture. Good start by her, 23 years of age. And vying up there with Wisner. She was down in over 50th in Kuusamo in the classic sprint. This clearly suiting her a whole lot more. Marit Björgen on the far side there, now on the right of your picture. And the only racer struggling there on the turn, the Polish racer Agnieszka Szymanczyk. But now the lead taken over by Germany. Katja Wisner in the lemon-coloured race suit coming up there. Hanna Eriksson of Sweden now pushed back to 4th place. The leading German there, Sandra Ringwald in 3rd place. Hanna Eriksson, then there's a little break back to Hanna Kohl of Germany. And Marit Björgen assuming the lead here now as they go out on this second rotation here in Davos in this cross-country sprint. Beautiful conditions, a mixture of artificial and man-made snow, these tracks, and beautifully prepared. And the crowd really getting into this. Just about got everything, this course. It's got the terrain, it's got the downhill. And Marit Björgen showing her strength there. Katja Wisner and Hanna Eriksson sticking in. Those three getting away, and this will be an interesting time check here in terms of lucky losers. Marit Björgen's skis just moving absolutely beautifully and really looking solid to gather up even more points. Björgen only 7th in the World Cup sprint table last year, but no matter, no worries about that. as she comes round, being chased by Katja Wisner and also Hanna Eriksson, the Swede, the 23-year-old, closest to you in the white suit, the white for Sweden, the yellow for Slovenia, the red for Norway. They come, they push, they lunge, and I think Eriksson's just got the qualifying second place unofficially. And the time of that race, 2:59.43, and that's slower actually than the first of the quarterfinals, so that actually doesn't bode particularly well for Katja Wisner. Hanna Eriksson unofficially in second place. Here you can see where Marit Bjørgen makes the move. Bjørgen at the height of her powers at the moment and goes across the line there to win quite comfortably. Winner of the classic sprint, of course, in the Val di Fiemme World Championships earlier in the year in February, but also, of course, in Whistler, the Olympic champion, also in the classic sprint final. So now we move on to the third of the quarterfinals. Third of the quarterfinals brings together, as you can see, Celine Brun-Lee, who I would think would have a major chance of qualifying here. It's Sarasoa for Finland, Diggins for the United States wears bib number 6, Celine Brun-Lee wears 15, 16 is Nika Ratzinger of Slovenia, 3 away from you in that picture there, Heidi Beng of Norway, 25, and Anastasia Dotsenko of Russia wears bib number 26. So interesting here, much more open affair, less obvious as to who might qualify for the semi-finals. And here you can see this skating step there, transfer of weight step by step, and double poling out of here to head to that first turn. Wearing 16 in there, Nika Ratzinger, just in the back of that little group there. And up front there, wearing bib number 15, that's Celine Brun-Lee for Norway, who I suggested would do well here, going with Heidi Beng, her Norwegian teammate. Also up there, the Finn, Rika Sarasoa. And it's Norway, Finland, Norway. And then you can see one from the back there. That's the Slovenian trying to adjust and amend her position. The Russian right at the back there, Anastasia Dotsenko. But it is Celine Brun-Lee who is making the best of her way home at the moment. Still a complete circuit to do here. Celine Brun-Lee trying to make every skating step a winning one. She moves out there, Finland Sarasoa on her shoulder almost there. Celine from Trondheim, 25 years of age, 5th in Kusamo in the opening sprint of the season in classic stride and glide. And there you can see them coming to that turn, and quite useful to get in there. And I have to say, the Slovenian really untidy with the skiing there. It's a really uncomfortable journey at the moment for Nika Ratzinger. Now Sarasoa trying to take on Celine Brun-Lee, and Heidi Beng having a real tussle there, sharing third place as they swing down here. This course beautifully designed for the public into the aerodynamic tuck, and at the moment all 4 of those skiers there, skis really running well. It's a big move up into the lead by Jess Diggins. Remember, team world champion in the sprint and wearing bib number 6, and looks to have timed it perfectly, coming through and crosses the line. A photo there, Sarah Soer for me getting the 2nd place, and Heidi Weng in 3rd place, and Celine Brun-Lee run out of it. And again, a slower heat there. Jess Diggins, more cat and mouse there amongst the athletes, 3.0076. And Sarah Soer, the automatic 2nd place. And at the moment, it's looking as if Lauren van der Graaf from the first quarterfinal might just stay in contention. Now look what happens here. Jess Diggins goes round Celine Brun-Lee, who gets completely tied up there, and Heidi Weng in fact comes through to eclipse her Norwegian teammate. So they've got a problem with their TV graphic there, but just to confirm, Diggins and Sarah Soer who go through to the next phase. So we come to the 4th quarter-final. Ingvild Flugstud Ørsberg for Norway, Sophie Caldwell for the United States, Gaia Vurik for Italy. So wearing 2, there's Ørsberg, such a good junior. This is perhaps the season where she really needs to make the transition from a very good junior into someone who can compete consistently at elite level. She's already had some good results, but needs to be able to consistently perform against these athletes at this level. So Ørsberg, Caldwell, Vurik and Kilonen of Finland, watch out for her. Micah Kaspersen Faller of Norway, Hanna Falk for Sweden. This is a tough one, this is a hot one, and this will be interesting to see who gets away here. Quarterfinal number 4, Hanna Falk in the white there on the left of your picture, and the Norwegians up there very strongly. Faller with the white hat there, moving right alongside the early leader. And Ørsberg in 3rd place as they hit the first turn. In 2nd place there, Gaia Vurik of Italy. Italy who've changed their suits this year. No more the Azzurri blue, which is just difficult because there are 1 or 2 countries who also wear dark race suits, so it hasn't really made life for recognition that easy. And the Swede Hanna Falk falling back after that early determined start. So what you can see there is at the moment a really good start by the Italian, coming up on the inside of the trail there. Skis running well, but aggressive racing by the Norwegians, and right round them goes Ørsberg into the lead, making a big move there. So it's still Norway, Italy, Norway, out onto the 2nd campaign. Ørsberg, 2nd fastest in qualification. And now pushing on, Kaspersen Faller in 3rd place. Ørsberg, I was mentioning right at the beginning about her ability, and it is some ability. She's only 23, but in the Junior World Championships in her career at that level, a gold medalist on no less than 4 occasions. 8th in Kuusamo in the opening classic sprint, last year on the podium in Drammen in the classic sprint, but today trying to make a name for herself as Kaspersen Faller comes through and shows her prowess. And Kaspersen Faller much more experienced and much more successful in the freestyle skate, and is now teaching her younger teammates a few lessons. Still the Italian there in 3rd place. It just depends on the speed. Kaspersen Faller on the left there. Closest to you is Ingvild Ørsberg. And then trying to nip round on the inside there, Gaia Vurik, who's done really well. and Gaia Burik has taken on the Norwegians, and that's a tremendous result. It's reasonably quick as well. Still a couple of meters to go to the line. It's Italy, and a lunge there between Kaspers and Faller and her teammate Ersberg. So what a good race by Gaia Burik. Gaia Burik, who would have seemed on paper to have been an outsider on this, but has clearly progressed since last season. Home for her is Predazzo, where we had the Ski Nordic World Championships last year. Just looking at this on the... Oh, it's on the boot, remember. That is very, very close. Could well be Faller. Just Gaia Burik there, 22 years of age. Best results, 14th place in Dusseldorf in that sprint by the Rhine. That was a couple of seasons ago. Last year, 15th in the freestyle sprint in Quebec. So going on to the last quarter-final here, Astrid Jakobsen, Alenka Šebašek for the Slovenians. Two Slovenians in this, Vesna Fabian, Astrid Jakobsen, former senior and junior world sprint champion, but that was all the way back in 2007. Sadie Bjørnsen in here for the United States. Stina Nielsen, talent who came to light last season, very much to keep an eye on here, Stina Nielsen. So away they will go as soon as they come under starters' orders. By the way, Sophie Caldwell, the winner of that previous quarter-final. So just settling in, Astrid Jakobsen in the red there. Three from the back, and up they go to the turn. Stina Nielsen trying to make progress on the right of your picture in white, trying to take on the very experienced Vesna Fabian for Slovenia, has the lead, and then just behind it's Sadie Bjørnsen in the black race suit for the United States. Just behind her is Astrid Jakobsen. Stina Nielsen, interesting. Hunting there in second place. Only 20 years of age, but won the Junior World Championship in Liberec last year in the classic sprint, and the year before in Turkey in 2012 was the Junior World Champion in the freestyle sprint. So that's the sort of talent that the Swedes have found with this woman in second place, hunting up Vesna Fabian at the moment, who leads as they go out onto the second rotation. So Fabian it is from Stina Nielsen of Sweden. And then you can see Astrid Jakobsen vying for third place there with the other Slovenian, Šebašek. In fact, Astrid Jakobsen into third place and now being chased by Sadie Bjørnsen of the United States in the black suit. Right at the back there in the blue for Finland, Kerttu Niskanen. Hasn't really got into this, and it's been Fabian all the way. Stina Nielsen in second place. Vesna Fabian, 8 years senior to the woman who's chasing her, Jakobsen in third place. This needs to be quick to determine who is going to be the lucky losers. But here you go, and it's Vesna Fabian on the far side, Stina Nielsen, Jakobsen trying to get there, but already past 3 minutes, no, not quite, 2:59.4, and it is Vesna Fabian who goes through to the next round by right all the way, and Stina Nielsen who joins her, and Jakobsen has to wait and see. So just having a look at the lucky losers, remember there are 2 of them to find a position, and just going through to the first couple of heats. That first heat was the quickest of the whole lot, and Lauren van der Graaf and Natalia Krostoleva. I think van der Graaf will definitely get a place, and looking further down, not Krostoleva, the Ersberg in that lunge for the line, losing out to Faller, but the consolation prize is that she's got a lucky loser place.
Halbfinale, Laurin van der Graaf. Stefan, du hast es selbst gesagt, jetzt kann alles passieren. Und es gibt alles passieren.
So welcome back, and on to the men's quarterfinals, and the fastest man in qualification, Matti Jylä of Finland, who wears bib number 21, goes in this first heat. Anders Glørsen from Norway, he wears number 10. Fossli wears 20 for Norway. Hamilton 21 in the dark race suit for the United States. 30 Vil Nusiainen for Finland. So again, the rules are exactly the same. It's the first 2 that go through to the next stage. So, just getting ready for the men's lineup here. So Martin Jylä, the fastest qualifier in 2:32.19. And just to give you a comparison, the women, Denise Herman's time 2:59.24. Anders Glørsen, really consistent racer, particularly in the sprint phase. And waiting just to be called under orders. Emil Johnson, the man who lives here, has got an apartment in Davos, and a false start. And Johnson, who goes in quarterfinal number 4. So being called under orders again here. Johnson, when you see him, he's the man who'll be, in a way, favourite. He's had more successes at World Cup sprinting than anybody else, with 16 victories. But we'll get to that later. Off we go. First of the 4 quarterfinals for the men. So away they go, trying to sort themselves out now. You already feel the increased power from the men's division as they come to this right-hander. 2 Finns in here, Jylä and Nusiainen. Dark race suit there of Simeon Hamilton in the black, trying to get second position there. 2 Norwegians, Fossli and Glørsen, as they glide down into the city. And that's what Davos is. It's thought to be a town, but it's the highest city, highest town certainly in the Alps. Now the leader being Ulai, who's now taken over the fastest qualifier, just ahead, but vying, as you can see there, with, at the moment, Glursen of Norway. Glursen, wearing 10, goes ahead of Ulai. And then the second of the Norwegians, Fossli, in there, also in a strong position. 21 in the dark suit, that's the American. Then you've got the German, Josef Wenzel. Don't rule him out. And right at the back, the other Finn, and that's Nusian. He's been there just about all the way. So Ulai really powering up here. And Simeon trying to improve his position, but had the door really closed in his face there by Fossli of Norway. So down they go again on this long gliding section where the servicemen's work will really be appreciated, and Ulai able to skate that just that little bit longer. Skips round the right-hander, and now setting himself up here, being chased all the time by Anders Glursen, and now Simeon Hamilton of the United States has got into third place as Fossli drops back, as Wenzel starts to improve, but it's all a bit too late, and Ulai gets there. Glursen second, really goes to form, and those two go through in a time of 2:35.55, and Hamilton 0.64 behind, so you're looking at a time of 2:36 and a quarter, something like that. That would give Hamilton a chance of a lucky loser spot. I don't think anybody else is going to come out of this into the semi-finals apart from the front two and maybe Simeon Hamilton of the USA. Ulai able to respond, look very comfortable going across there, I have to say. So there is the result confirmed for you. Martti Ulai from the Vuokatti ski team actually lives in Rovaniemi, north of the Arctic Circle, 26 years of age, outside the top 10 in the first classic sprint of the season. So straight on to the second quarter-final, and this brings together the Italian Federico Pellegrino, very good racer. Pellegrino wearing bib number 4, and there'll be support for him here. 7, Roman Schad for Switzerland, even more support for him, of course. And then the very good Swede, Kalle Halvarsen, wearing white there, 3 from the left. And then Kruvad Taugbull of Norway, and Sebastian Eisenlauer from Germany, and Cyril Gaillard from France in the yellow and black on the far side. Well, Halvarsen and Pellegrino should get involved here. Germany's Sebastian Eisenlauer well to the fore there. That black and orange combined race suit, the race suit with the orange legs, as they go forward here. Now the Italians have changed their race suits, as you can see on the right of your screen. There is Federico Pellegrino right up there in that dark suit, but perhaps you can identify him and all the Italians with the bobble hats that they all seem to wear as a squad team. And then bursting through with masses of power, Taugbull of Norway. Taugbull of Norway, that is a fantastic burst of power as he goes through. And one of the outsiders, certainly not a man that we had on our shortlist to qualify. But can he sustain? Oh, and Kalle Halvarsen down and effectively out of it. So now we have 5, and the rookie is really up front here. Comes out of the Junior World Championships from last year, where he was concentrated. Just have a look at that. Just a little clash there between the Swede and the Frenchman, and the Frenchman still standing. And up front now, it's the Americans, or sorry, I should say the Swiss and the Italians up there. Norwegian seems to have run out of petrol, and it's the Swiss guy. This is Roman Schad, who is up there in a very good lead at the moment now. Roman Schad, also somebody who you would have put in as an outsider, leading down, getting plenty of applause and support here, coming to the final phase of the race. Schad from Drusberg, competed in the Junior Worlds last year in Liberec, and taking him on is Pellegrino, but they're comfortable. Schad easy, not a fast time, but he and Pellegrino are the two that go through. And that is a slower time by more than 2 seconds. So Roman Schad from Federico Pellegrino and Sebastian Eisenlauer of Germany coming through into third place. So on paper, you wouldn't expect him to have a chance of a qualifying lucky loser place to go into the semi-finals. So Roman Schad absolutely delighted with what he's produced there. He goes into the semi-finals as we look forward now to the third quarter-final. Confirmation of the times there. Heat 3. So this the lineup. Sergei Ustagov, who was quite an achiever in the Universiade competitions earlier in his competitive career, certainly made the grade and worthy of his place here. He wears 5, and the Russians with a great reservoir of sprinting talent. Gafarov in here for Russia as well. Pensinen wears the blue for Finland. There's Krog of Norway, Enrico Nitsi for Italy, and Poland's Make Starega also in there in a reddish suit, not to be confused with the Norwegian suit. So huge double poling power to find a way and to establish their rhythm as they really vie for this first turn. It's a question whether anybody's going to cut across here. On the left of the picture there, that's Pensinen in the blue, but the Norwegian has got round there in advantage. That's Krog, who got round there ahead of the Polish racer. That's Starega in the red and more white around his race suit. And then after that you've got the Italian Nitsi, again dark suit, bobble hat, and there's quite a bit of pace on in this race. This could be quick if they keep this going, if it doesn't become too cat and mouse. But look at the way that they closed up on the leader, those who were chasing on the glide. And I'm not so sure that Krog can hang on to this in the lead, because at the moment his skis don't look quite as quick as those men, as the men who are chasing him. So he's going to need to really build up the advantage. And 5 going forward there, Ustagov of Russia. Ustagov. A talent in the recent years. He's only 21 years of age. The Junior World Skiathlon champion 2 seasons ago in Erzurum in Turkey. He also won the freestyle sprint title there. He also won the 10-kilometer classic. A triple Junior World champion from 2 seasons ago. And Ustagov pushing on here, trying to make this as tough as he can. Norway second in there, and the Russian teammate Gafarov in third. So Russia, Norway, Russia, that's the way it is as they come down to the crucial part of the race. So can Krug find anything? Also nipping round there very neatly, Starega of Poland trying to get into this again, but at the moment Russia and Norway fighting this out for first and second, and that for me very close for first and second between Krug and Ustegov. So definitely those two through, but who would be the third best in that? Ustegov and Krug. Ustegov, as I said, a really promising performer for the Russians, and the Russian competition for places at the Olympic Games, particularly in the sprint squad, is going to be really serious. Let's just have a look at this. Krug on the left. Well, they're not bothered, are they? I would say, Gafarov getting into third place, and the time 2:35. 2:35 for Krug in heat 3. Now, heat 1 was 2:35.54. This was two. Just lost my place for a moment. 2:53.73, and I think Gafarov and Starega have got real chances of getting into the. Certainly Gafarov getting into the lucky loser pool as it stands at the moment, but that may change. And now this is the one they've all been looking forward to: Alexei Petukov, Erik Bransdal, Andrew Newell, Emil Jonsson, Theodor Pedersen, Andrew Young. A fantastic lineup of the greats here. Erik Bransdal, winner of the sprint in Kusamo, thus wearing the red bib. Alexei Petukov. Alexei Petukov, second, I should say, second fastest in qualification. And of course, Alexei Petukov to be absolutely respected. Likewise, Emil Jonsson. So in the lineup here, two for Sweden, Andrew Young for Great Britain, who's done really well to qualify. Andrew Musgrave sadly missed out, he was 34th. And Andrew Young wearing bib number 29. This would be really something if he can get through to the semi-finals. Andrew Young wearing bib number 29. So, as you would expect, strong pace from the Russians up front there. Into this glide for the first time, and Petukov still stepping around there. Fourth place, Andrew Young. Right at the back is Erik Bransdal. He is perhaps arguably more prolific in the classic style. Also watch out for Emil Jonsson. Second home for him, Davos, somewhere he really likes to be. 19 coming through to take a part in this. Right up front now, it's Andrew Newell of the United States, black race suit, and Petukov on the right-hand side there for Russia. Jonsson in third, and then for Norway, Bransdal, who's moved up, and I'm afraid they're lifting away, particularly from Andrew Young at the back of the field. But nonetheless, that's quite an achievement to actually get into the top 30. Getting into the top 30 means a World Cup point, so that will be a fantastic reward for Andrew Young, but let's just concentrate on this at the moment because it's getting interesting. Patukov from Andrew Newell, Emil Jonsson, Eric Bransdal, and now the big guns all lining up here. The other Swede can't get into this, Theodor Pedersen. In fact, just looking, it is Theodor Pedersen. It's Jonsson who's not in this. Theodor Pedersen who's very much there. Patukov, and then chasing Eric Bransdal, the Kusamo winner. Theodor Pedersen there. Emil Jonsson, a real disappointment. And Patukov just gets there from Bransdal. Pedersen in third place, and Jonsson, and then Young. And whatever happened to Jonsson, we'll have to learn later. But that's Patukov in a time, just waiting for that time to come through. Patukov gets there. Eric Bransdal, Newell, depending on how quick it is, that's the big question. Andrew Young just reverting to him at this moment in time. Here you can see the argy-bargy that went on there. As they come to the line, and you can see Andrew at the back there, just behind Emil Jonsson. And there is the official result, 2:35.21. It is a little bit quicker, which gives hope to Theodor Pedersen to make it through. So they get ready for the next of the rounds. Just reflecting on Andrew Young's performance, 21 years of age from the Huntley Club. Don't be too disappointed with that performance, because that is his first World Cup point. More of that perhaps in a moment, but let's concentrate on the next, the final or last of the quarterfinals. Persson for Sweden, Hatterstad for Norway will be in the red, Morilov for Russia, Thomas Northug, the younger brother of Petr, Denis Volotka of Kazakhstan, and Krukov for the Russians. Krukov only 28th quickest in qualification. Clean start. Krukov, the Olympic champion, of course, from Vancouver 2010. World champion as well from the classic sprint final from Val di Fiemme in February of this year. So you could say the reigning world and Olympic champion for Nikita Krukov, 28 years of age, and hoping to defend that title in Sochi. So round the first turn there, and it's Thomas Northug in the red for Norway, who leads up there, leading from Simon Persson in the white for Sweden. On the right of your picture, closest to you, 23, that's Denis Volotka for Kazakhstan in that sort of combined blue race suit. Slightly darker than Nikita Krukov on the near side. Krukov with some skiing to do here, being chased up there. Just behind is Ola Vigga Hatterstad, the figure of the tall Norwegian in red. So Thomas Northug leading here for Norway. His brother, not a happy day for him yesterday in the 30-kilometre for men. And there's Krukov taking charge and injecting pace, and real pace as they go out on the second rotation here. And suddenly Hatterstad coming up there. Hatterstad, Thomas Northug, well, he did the first loop, and now he's right at the back of the field, and he's paid for that, and I'm not sure he can get back from there. So on the left, Krukov, the Olympic champion, Hatterstad on the right of your picture. And Hatterstad really pouring it on, trying to get to him. He didn't have a great sprint season last year. He was down in 16th place in the overall rankings, Hatterstad. He sits second at the moment. And this is Really a close affair. Sweden, Simon Persson coming around the outside of Krukov. 28 in there. That's Krukov trying to vie through now. Two Russians involved here, Morilov and Krukov. And on the far side, Hadestad, but it's Simon Persson who's leading. Oh, look at that for a lunge. And it is Persson and Krukov in the photo. Krukov really not the best of races, really, but he's done enough to get through. And once again, a big photo. Hadestad in what I think will be third place. So in terms of lucky losers, have a look at this. Morilov, who's been very, very quiet throughout the race. Morilov up there, then being followed by Krukov. Krukov not in a great position, but then suddenly bursting through to get on terms almost with Persson and Hadestad. So 35-12, another very quick race. And lucky losers, Theodor Pedersen from the quarterfinal number 4, and the other lucky loser, looking at that, just trying to find him for you. So semi-final time for the women coming up here. I can tell you that Theodor Pedersen definitely got a qualifying place there. And just looking for the women in this first semi-final. Lorien van der Graaf. Dennis Herman, number 1. Fastest qualifier, of course. So away we go, Marit Bjørgen in the lineup here for this first semi-final, and again the rules exactly the same, and it's the first two that across the line that go into the final. So Bjørgen, Randall, Herman, Sarasoa, Eriksson, van der Graaf, again very competitive. And up front now, it's Lorien van der Graaf of Switzerland getting through to the semi-final stage by way of the lucky loser pool, being followed up there in second place by number 1, the fastest qualifier earlier today, Denise Herman, Germany. So really the all-black suit there of the Swiss racer, the black and orange legs there for Denise Herman, then the blue of Finland, Riikka Sarasoa trying to get an early position. Marit Bjørgen right at the back of the field at the moment. Keegan Randall, watch for her in 4th place, the dark race suit at the moment, sitting there but gliding through quite neatly on the inside alongside Sarasoa. And then you've got Hanna Eriksson for Sweden. Marit Bjørgen needing to now get serious as they go out onto the second rotation, and she's got fantastic power and energy, but Also, she's got a lot of racers in front of her now. So coming to the right-hand turn now, trying to improve her position. And look at that, a magnificent burst of speed. She's on the outside. She's going to have to cut right to go up this turn. She's moved herself from the back to just about 4th place, vying with the Swede on the right-hand side of your screen, who's got the inside track, who's trying to sneak through there, but that hasn't worked. Marit Bjørgen just about into 3rd place. So that's the big move up there. So you've got Lorien van der Graaf, sorry, not Lorien van der Graaf, Keegan Randall leading now from Marit Bjørgen. And then Denise Herman, and then the Swede Hanna Eriksson. And Keegan Randall with a big advantage ahead of Marit Bjørgen. Those two, and it's all Indian file now as they swing down here. Marit Bjørgen, can she close up on the skis there? Look at the glide of Marit Bjørgen's skis there, just closing up on Keegan Randall. And Denise Herman, remember the first two, and then it's lucky loser time. So they come into the sprint there, and the dark suit of Keegan Randall, the red suit of Marit Bjørgen. And chasing really hard Denise Herman, who doesn't quite get there. It's Randall, 255.6. It's Randall ahead of Bjørgen, and those two by right go through, time 255.61. Well, interesting to see this race once again. Marit Bjørgen biding her time, oh so confident about her ability to come through, but she's dealing with Keegan Randall, which is worth taking note of here, because Keegan, with her superb sprint ability, the best sprinter of last season, just showing that everyone that she's right on track now for another successful campaign. So that's the advance in there, and you can see Herman and Eriksson flashing there. That shows that they're in a possible position for lucky loser. Second quarterfinal lineup. So, second quarterfinal lineup here, Jess Diggins, and there Østberg and Faller find themselves in the semi-final against Stina Nielsen, this fantastic junior prospect, already a great achiever at that level. And there's Kaspersen Faller. Now the two Norwegians, you can see Kaspersen Faller wearing the white hat, the 13 Vesna Fabian from Slovenia, who led from start to finish in the quarterfinal. Tough and experienced racer. Sophie Caldwell from the United States, really good job coming through to take the victory there. Could be on her way to a personal best. And 6, Jessica Diggins. So 3 Americans involved in the semi-finals, but they're up against 2 very good Norwegians, an improving Swede and a tough Slovenian. Now, is Vesna Fabian in the lemon race suit for Slovenia going to get the best of the start here? Already cutting right onto the right side. She's got her eye on that first turn, and there Stina Nielsen in white for Sweden. Once again, really fast starter. And Kaspersen Faller going alongside her. Østberg vying at the moment with Vesna Fabian for 3rd and 4th place, and it's Stina Nielsen who's won the initial fight to get to the first right-hander as they go round here, and now on the climb. Keeps the rhythm going really well. Kaspersen Faller in 2nd place, trying to move up on the near side there. That was quite an interesting move from Jess Diggins. Jess Diggins trying to get through and has got through to third place. Really gutsy effort from Jess Diggins. Two Americans in this as well. Sophie Caldwell wears the white hat just for differentiation, and it's getting very tight. Vesna Fabian, very good round there. Diggins and Caldwell trying to make their presence felt, and look at this, the Norwegians find themselves at the back, so they've got a sort of Marit Bjørgen task here. 22, Kaspersen Faller on the far side, trying to move up as they go once again to that big turn before the climb. Vesna Fabian moving beautifully, and just with Stina Nielsen quite happy to mix it with the world's best here, and looks an athlete who could well bring great success to Sweden in the course of time. Who knows, maybe even at the Sochi Olympics, but she's the brightest find they've had for quite a while. Vesna Fabian really tough, really grueling, really trying to make this as hard as possible. The two Norwegians moving up, the two Americans struggling at the moment, and they may have to rely on Kikan Randall in the final. Vesna Fabian, Stina Nielsen, and then Micah Kaspersen Faller and Østberg off the pace in just about fourth place at the moment now. Slovenia, Sweden, Norway. There goes Østberg in the headband, trying to come up and to vie with Kaspersen Faller. Not quite sure whether to go in or out there. Decides that she's going to go on the inside now. Goes on the inside, takes third place away from Kaspersen Faller, forcing her to go even wider. And it's Slovenia fighting Sweden, and the two Norwegians behind there. And they look as if they're going to have to hope for lucky loser spots. Stina Nielsen lunges and probably just gets it. Really good racecraft there by the Swede, and it's worth it because winning the race gives you a better lane position for the final. And Stina Nielsen, that is an excellent performance from her. So Stina Nielsen lights up the Swedish prospects in a very big way. And again, could be on her way to a personal best. The Americans in the end double represented in this race, but not able to go forward. And just clever enough to do that. I've got Nielsen winning it, Fabian in second place. So really good contest. Well, just thinking about Stina Nielsen and her performances, she's into her first sprint final and is certainly on her way to a World Cup best. So the two semi-finals of the women over, and now we revert to the men. The men who, this will be interesting, the lineup here for the semi-finals for the men. So Glørsen will be one of the big dangers, I think, for all of these men. So Roman Shard, local lad, and obviously getting a big cheer for him, a huge personal best. If he could get into the final, that would be amazing. Marti Jylai, the man they've all got to beat. the Finn, who was the fastest in qualification. Now, can he keep this amazing performance going today? So he on the near side, which gives him the advantage racing towards the first turn. That's the theory, at least. Looking pretty good. The Finn, who will try to obviously win this one to get that same position for the final. Moving up very smoothly there on the left of your picture. Being challenged by Pellegrino. Pellegrino skips round the outside. Ulai has to settle for second place. Also there, Glersen in the red with the red and white hat. There he is on the right of your screen, going up there to take the advantage now. Pellegrino put back to second. 7 there, that's Roman Schurd for Switzerland in 4th place. But at the front, it's Norway. Norway. Glersen, Hadderstad in this race, 2 of them. The taller man is actually Hadderstad. Hadderstad wears number 8. Glersen, number 10. Glersen, usually the man who comes late. And already into the stadium again to get ready to go out on their second rotation. So Norway and then Finland. And there you can see up front Glersen, Hadderstad at the back there. Glersen goes round first, Ulla in second place. And then trying to improve again is Pellegrino of Italy, being followed there by Ustugov of Russia. Then comes Roman Schurd, then Hadderstad. So Ulai in the advantage now, the 26-year-old Finn from Rovaniemi. Never been on a World Cup podium, was outside the top 10 in Kuusamo in the classic sprint of the season, but looks really good here to make the final. And this, of course, would be an absolute personal best. It already is, because he got into the semi-finals, but this will ensure a lifetime best. Just comes to the line, lunges, gets ahead there of Glersen. Pellegrino in third, and 2:34.4. And through to the final, the third place man Pellegrino, 0.59, call it 0.6, so around 2:35 would give him a chance of getting into the lucky loser spot. And in 4th place Ustugov, Schurd in 5th place, and Hadderstad really never showed at all. So Krukov and Patukov in the next semi-final for the Russians. By the way, for the women, the lucky losers, Denise Herman and Hanna Eriksson of Sweden. So they're going to have Stina Nilsson and Hanna Eriksson, the Swedes, in the final. And there you have the 2 just flashing there, Pellegrino, Ustugov, those 2 looking for a place in the lucky loser pool. Now, what a lineup here for this second semi-final. Wearing bib 2, Alexei Patukov. Wearing 3, Simon Persson for Sweden. The red bib of Erik Bransdal, the winner in Kuusamo. 16, that's Krog of Norway. 28, that's Krukov, the Olympic champion. 22, Theodor Pedersen, who was a lucky loser to get into this, the second semi-final for the men. So quite pensive at the moment. Big shock, Emil Jonsson not progressing from here. He might say that he's had a barometer to the state and standard of the top sprinters at the moment, but he'll be very disappointed to have been run out of the semi-finals, run out of it in the quarterfinals by these men. So sort of quiet and calm that comes over Davos. Makes it just that little bit harder. Remember, they're sprinting at 1,500 meters. But it's a really good test for Suchi. So once again, the introductions here. Those bib numbers reflecting the finishing position in the qualification earlier in the day. The Olympic champion, 28. Remember, only 30 qualified, so got in, but not convincingly, but has now proved his prowess. Erik Bransdal for Norway, looking for back-to-back wins, having had the classic success in Kusama. Can he make the freestyle here in Davos? And Simon Persson, or Persson I should say, for Sweden. Apologies for that. And 2 in here. Alexei Patukov always looks confident about his races, but this is a real test here. When we started the morning, we had 96 racers in this competition, and now we're just whittling it down. The winning 2 to go through, with lucky losers to put 6 of those 96 into the final. Up front there, making an early statement there, Patukov, tracked by Simon Persson. Krog of Norway on the right of your screen going through. There's Krukov just behind him, following him. And at the back, the other Norwegian, Erik Bransdal. But he does tend to be something of a head waiter in these races. He doesn't like to get involved too early. Perfectly happy for the others to do the work. He saves the energy and the final gear shift till the very end of the race. It's a risky way of racing because you sometimes have got to go through or round a lot of traffic. But look at this for a breakaway here for Sweden. This is Simon Persson, and when you do a break like this, you've really got to make it complete. You have to kill them off. If you don't kill them off and they get back to you, then the chances are that you're going to be gobbled up and you'll not make the final, which is his quest at the moment. Patukov following him, then Krog of Norway. Round they go, and then Bransdal is moved into 4th there, ahead of Nikita Krukov, the Olympic and world champion. And right at the back of the field, the other Swede, Theodor Pedersen. Look for him. He came late last time, but he's got work to do now. You can see almost detached there. So things have changed. As you can see, it wasn't decisive, which is what it needed to be. And now you've got Patukov. They're gathering, aren't they? Gathering all the time. Persson round the outside, Krog on the left, Bransdal in the red. Krukov, bad tackle. Oh, he's lucky, Krukov, because he's that clash which has taken out 2 of the chasing leaders. It's Patukov leading Krukov. It could be the 2 Russians going through here, and Krog in 3rd place. But Bransdal brought down, or we need to look at that again. And also Pedersen in 4th place, but pretty slow. So the 2 Russians through. And the time of that semi-final, 2:39, very slow. So I reckon that Pellegrino and Ustegov from the first semi-final are going to be the lucky losers. Now this is the finish, but I'd like to see that incident once again. So we have the women's final and the men's final to come. But that's what happens when you're vying for... This is earlier in the race, and he falls down there. Persson falling, giving the advantage to Petukov. Also Krog able to follow that up, and at that point Bransdal coming through. Bransdal being, well, sorry, I should say Persson being consoled there by Theodor Pedersen. But there are your 6, Pellegrino and Ustigov, the lucky losers, through to the men's sprint final. So the women getting ready for their final, and Keegan Randall, who's very much the #1 sprinter in freestyle, ahead of Stina Nielsen, a lifetime best, whatever happens for the young Swede. And then Marit Björgen in here with Fabian Vesna representing Slovenia, and Denise Herrmann for Germany. Hannah Eriksson giving Sweden 2 in the final. There's Hannah just going through 10. That's Keegan Randall, charged up, as you can see, for this. So Keegan looking for this victory, and just thinking a little bit about what that does in terms of her stats. Just have a little check on that at the moment, Keegan Randall, because she's prolific at freestyle sprints. Keegan Randall, 8 times a World Cup winner. Last season won the freestyle sprint in Sochi. And of course, if you go back in time, on the big occasions, it hasn't quite worked for her. Her best championship performance was the silver medal in the freestyle sprint in Liberec at the World Championships back in 2009. But she's a much stronger athlete mentally and physically these days. But what a lineup here. Randall in the dark black race suit for America, wears bib 10. Stina Nielsen, 23, in the white for Sweden. But this is her teammate, Hannah Eriksson's done tremendously well to get into the final. Wasn't expected. Denise Herrmann, fastest qualifier. Well, she's not won her through on quarterfinals and semi-finals. She's come through as a lucky loser, but she's in the final. Vesna Fabian, really strong, gutsy racer for Slovenia. In the white there, Stina Nielsen fears no one. This is a big test for her, right next to the World Cup sprint champion of last season, Keegan Randall. And then Norway, the World Cup leader, Marit Björgen. So, all set, 6 in this women's final in Davos, the second sprint of the World Cup season. Under orders. Little sort of hesitation by all the athletes there, but Vesna Fabian in the yellow there, out pretty strongly. Also Stina Nielsen going with her. She's got tremendous athletic pace. Her sprinting pace is amazing, Stina Nielsen. And she just skips out there and goes with her. Hannah Eriksson, her Swedish teammate, and the 2 Swedes trying to dominate early on. Slovenia and Keegan Randall on the inside there for the United States. Denise Herrmann just at the back. Marit Björgen just in front of her in the red. Important to keep out of trouble here. But it is the youngster, Stina Nielsen, the junior world gold medalist, who's being followed once again here by Hannah Eriksson. Hannah Eriksson, 27th fastest in the early qualification today, and really a big outsider. So you can say that Hannah Eriksson is also on for a lifetime best here, having already made the final. Fourth here, Hannah Eriksson in Davos 2 years ago in the freestyle sprint. So she has some form here, has a real chance of improving on that. She's the more experienced of the two Swedes. They complete one rotation. Randall in black on the far side there. And Stina Nilsson not giving in. Hannah just behind. Marit Bjørgen in fourth place. Vesna Fabian finding the pace absolutely amazing now, using her strength to try and come up. Denise Herman following Marit Bjørgen on the outside. Bjørgen looking to have a good position as she comes round the turn to be able to use the hill to attack. This is a characteristic of Marit Bjørgen, that very strong upper body, and into the lead goes Keegan Randall, as she did in the previous phase. And there you can see the scamper up the hill there. Stina Nilsson reduced to fourth place. Denise Herman going into third. It's America and Norway and Germany, the 1, 2, 3. Sweden just behind in fourth place, having done so much good work early on. But away goes Keegan Randall, and look at the run, the glide on her skis. Aerodynamic, tucks down, little step round the corner, holds that aerodynamic tuck, another step, 2 steps, and then skating here, and Bjørgen on her toes here. Bjørgen couldn't out-sprint her in the final 100 meters earlier on in the competition. Now trying to come alongside Randall, tough. Bjørgen having to go on the outside. Herman trying to split between the two, and Bjørgen, can she get on terms? Closest to Keegan Randall. Herman on the near side, Bjørgen on the fast. Whoa! What a lunge there. Was it Bjørgen in the photo? That was a superb lunge by Marit Bjørgen. It's a photo between Randall and her. Denise Herman just a whisker behind in the final. They're waiting, they're thinking, I think she's done it. I think that will give us so much pleasure to have beaten Keegan Randall. Good sportsmanship. Far side, watch the boot. It's on the lunge. The red boot of Bjørgen. Ooh, it's so difficult to call that. Bjørgen's won it. Fantastic by literally millimeters. And Marit Bjørgen gains another 100 World Cup points. Now let's just go through this, because Bjørgen has beaten Randall, Herman in third place, and then Hannah Eriksson equaling the fourth place finish that she had 2 years ago here. Vesna Fabian in fifth, and Stina Nilsson, who did so much early work, in sixth place. But that is a lifetime best for the young Swede, and much promise. And Marit Bjørgen, that's 100 points. Keegan Randall was down in sixth place in the overall World Cup rankings, but remember, Bjørgen, who has actually won 2 races in the opening phase of 6 competitions, has now added a third one, and that's going to take her to 569 points. Kalle, closest pursuer, didn't qualify today. Therese Johaug not involved. Justina Kowalczyk went out early, and so her points will be very modest. So a big weekend for Marit Bjørgen in Davos. Double victory, the 15-kilometer freestyle, and now the sprint ahead of Keegan Randall. 1/100th of a second, the clock separation. Wow, what a race. What a race. And Marit Bjørgen just showing that she still has all of that zest. Bjørgen, not a fast qualifier this morning in terms of the initial stage. fourth fastest, which by her standards wouldn't be her norm. She'd be up in the first couple, but the tactics were absolutely the same for her and Randall. Bjørgen sticking on the outside, and then you can see the change as they came through. Randall did everything right. She didn't do anything wrong. Denise Herrmann just so close, so near, but Bjørgen, well, just out sprinting, outlasting Kiken Randall. Well, we should hear from her any moment now. Marit Bjørgen, 33 years of age, out sprinting Kiken Randall, coached by Egil Christiansen, and that, I reckon, is her 60th victory.
Champion. I feel like it's deja vu. We just did this yesterday. Yeah. Congratulations on your second victory here. Really tight right to the finish line. Did you think when you came you could win?
I had a good feeling today, but I know Kiken is very strong, and I was there in the semi-final, and I feel that she was very strong, but so I had to push and try to follow her, and I did, and yeah, I was a little bit better than her, so I'm really happy because she is really good. So
congratulations on what I believe is your 9th victory here in Davos.
Yeah, maybe it's, but I'm really happy, and yeah, it seems that I can race good in the attitude, and that's good, very good for Sochi, I think. So yeah, I'm really happy for this weekend.
All right, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, she's been the queen of the big championships on so many occasions. Vancouver in the Olympics, and also, of course, last year in the World Championships in Oslo as well. So really at the height of her powers. So who's to say that at the age of 33 she isn't going to have another wonderful time at Sochi. Great weekend for Marit Bjørgen, and the men's final to come. So on to the men's final. Incidentally, Marit Bjørgen leading the prize money list at the moment, which is quite healthy. So that victory gives her another 15,000 Swiss francs to add to the 61,500 she previously had. 15,000 for the victory, 10,000 for the runner-up, Kiken Randall, and in third place, Denise Herrmann, getting 11,000. Actually, no, it doesn't work like that in this particular race. Third place, my right reckoning, should have been, well, more than 10,000 anyway. Slightly confusing on that. I was just looking at the prize money chart, and it's not something I look at particularly regularly, but nonetheless, good day at the office for all three racers. Remember, this is their sport, this is their passion, this is their love, but it's also their business. So to the men. And the lineup here, the fastest qualifier, Marti Ulay, then the Russians, and the Russians well represented by Alexei Petukov along with Sergei Ustagov. So Ulay, Petukov, Glursen, Krug, Pellegrino and Ustagov. No Krukov, and Nikita Krukov, the Olympic champion, ruled out for obstruction, and that's the reason why he's not in the final. That note's just come through, and I just noted it as we saw the lineup here. So no Olympic and world champion, but there is a Russian representation, Petukov, and the promising Ustagov, who was in the lucky loser position. So we've got Pellegrino for Italy in there. 4. There is Pellegrino, Federico Pellegrino. That's darker suit for the Italians this year. So 1 for Finland, 2 for Russia, 2 for Norway, 1 for Italy. And there is the lineup. Federico Pellegrino, 23 years of age and a bronze medalist in the Junior World some 4 years ago in the sprint freestyle skate final. 12th in Val di Fiemme in the Classic World Championship final. 12th also in the freestyle sprint final in Oslo. But maturing, strengthening, and last year Pellegrino on the podium here in Davos in the classic sprint, as it was then, in 3rd place. Personal best, a 2nd place in Liberec in 2011 in the freestyle sprint here. And he was also 6th in the freestyle sprint in Davos in that particular season in 2011. So Pellegrino, can he push himself onto the podium here? This is a really tough final. Krog, well, perhaps not everybody expected him to be around. Ustigov. So coming under starters order now, Pellegrino. Just reflecting on Krog, he's a pretty versatile racer, got a personal best of 2nd place in Falun last season, runner-up in the 30-kilometer mass start race. Glersen. Patukov. Very difficult to call here in terms of who may or may not win this one. It's very, very open. Good luck there to Ulai from his coach. Well, they pour away, and Ulai on the near side for Finland, getting a fair start there, but trying to push forward in the dark suit with the bobble hat. Pellegrino. Also Russia would be Patukov, I would think, who would actually try to lead, because that's the sort of thing that he shows in most of his races, likes to be amongst it early on. And there he is, skipping round ahead of Pellegrino, who is on the left of your picture. We'll get the reverse in a moment. And 5 on the right of your picture. That's Ustigov trying to get up the inside there. So in the lead at the moment, Pellegrino, I think, just about getting, no, not quite getting there. And it's Patukov, Pellegrino in there, Ulai, the front 3. And then right behind, you've got Ustigov in 4th place. The 2 Norwegians at the moment, a bit mucked around, Glersen and Krug. Now Glersen wears 10, Krug wears 16, and suddenly you can see this burst of power, the injection of pace put in there by number 10, and that's Anders Glersen to head of Patukov. So this is a very different type of race there. 5 on the right of your screen there, that is Ustigov. 4 on the left of your screen, that's Pellegrino. Between the 2, Ulai of Finland. There, 16 just at the back there, that's Finn Krog. And this is turning out to be quite a burn here. This is a really quick section of the race, and out goes Glersen immediately on the climb up here, being chased by Patukov. Ulai trying to gain on the right of your screen there for Finland, and also looking for this elusive World Cup victory, something every one of these racers dreams of but few ever achieve. Patukov tucks into 3rd place, Ustigov in 4th, but it's Glersen leading them a merry dance at the moment. And right at the back, Krog can't really get into this. And it's all about Glursen, and then the Finn Ulai just breathing on him. The two Russians are now separated. There is a distance apart. It's Norway versus Finland. Now, can the fastest qualifier of the day win the race as well? So on the far side, it's Ulai. On the near side, it's Glursen, the more experienced skier, racer, and Glursen comfortably. Ulai second, and in third place going to Ustegov. That's the first podium for Ustegov at World Cup level, and beating Petukov into the finish. Anders Glursen, the man who takes the honours and takes the money here. Glursen, in the end, relatively easy for the 27-year-old. 3 previous victories. This would be his 4th career World Cup success. But at altitude, at Davos, in freestyle, with Sochi, all part of the preparation. And Ustegov in there, enjoying and taking on the honours as well, and rightly so. Just trying to reckon Ustegov. Surely, I'm pretty sure that's his first podium. Indeed, it is. He was 4th in the freestyle sprint in Sochi, the dress rehearsal last season, but on the podium in 3rd place. That is a lifetime best for him. Ulai in 2nd place. Also, that would be surely a personal best for him. In fact, it's his first podium. So a lot of men with a lot of real achievements. So coming to the end of the visit to Davos, and what a day, a double victory for Norway, a double weekend success here for Marit Bjørgen, and at the moment a very good start to the season for the Norwegians. Well, this is how they set out. But a really great afternoon of racing, and time for us to take our leave and to take you back to St. Moritz. The alpine skiing in St. Moritz, the next stop on our journey of winter sport through the weekend here, so plenty to look forward to. And if you can, please stay with us. We'd love to have your company. So, for myself, David Goldstrom, and the Nordic team, thanks for watching. Bye-bye from Davos.